Right, year 11. This is a screencast that I'm making for you because I'm not going to be in your lesson tomorrow, but by the time you listen to this, it will be today, which is Monday the 10th of October. But I guess this screencast will probably help you over the next couple of weeks as you finalise all of the work that you do for your controlled assessment in any case. I'm sure that I've gone through all of these things before, but just as a kind of handy reminder for you, I'm going to show you a couple of things just to remind you, just in case you're sat there and a little bit stuck with what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So first of all, let's have a look at what it is that I've actually said for your homework. So if I type in bit.ly/pap cover, that's going to bring up the cover work for you. So if I go through here, I've renamed it. It's this one here, Pap Cover October. It'll be for the date there that it is, which is October the 10th. And you'll see down at the bottom, if we just go down here, that currently what I've written is that what I want you to do is make sure you shared, I'm supposed to say shared your Google document with me, and then you to go back over your preparation so far using the A-Star Text Ideal Holiday Booklet, Catastrophic Holiday Resources to help you improve your work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to find those things. So let's go into bit.ly/NFLPerinCA. And once I've typed that in and I get this stuff come up, you'll see that the whole thing is in front of me. Now, first thing to make sure you look at are the controlled assessment booklets, because they're both in here. Now, the dates may well not be correct. However, French hasn't changed in the last couple of years, so all of this is relevant. It's always worthwhile having a look through the things that are in here, because it gives you some excellent language that you can use. So just to pick out on completely random things, opinions and reasons. Je pense que, I think that, je trouve que, I find that, à mon avis. Make sure you put in these kind of things into your work. If I come back out of that, so that's the booklet. Make sure you've looked at that booklet at some point as you're drafting your work. If I come back out of this folder and then go back into French here, and the one that I'm in at the moment is topic 4, travel. You will see that there's catastrophic holidays there, but we're not going to go in there. We're going to go in here instead, topic 4, travel. And you remember that a couple of weeks ago that I said that I was trying to reorder things a little bit to make it a little bit easier to find. Now, the things that I think you should be looking at in this lesson actually start with A, B, C, D, and E. So the A-Star Text lesson, which I want you to make sure that you're using to go through all of the resources that I used during that lesson or two that we spent on that, is all in here. So the A-Star Text phrases, for example, we've got the text here, and then underneath the text we've also got these, which are the phrases that we were going to try to get out of it. And I will go through that sheet with you in the next lesson that I am with you. I actually set a reminder for that to make sure that I remember. You've also got verb practice sheets. If you wanted to do that at some point, that would also be quite useful. Check with other people in the class though, because they'll probably have already done it. And this is all to help you. So if I look at this just to open that up, you should then have a big list of imperfect tenses and perfect tenses for each of these verbs. Use all of these resources that you've prepared already or that other people have done. Make sure that you've caught up with those things, because these resources are there to help you. I don't want it to be that when I set the task you think to yourself, well, I've got to start from scratch. That isn't the point. The point is that you've got all of these things available to you. So if I come out of that and come back into this folder, we've got the booklet, which is a directed writing booklet, which I found elsewhere. It wasn't me that made this. This was Queen Victoria School, wherever that might be, who made this excellent booklet with stuff to do with holidays. So you've got these expressing where you went with who came to stay. Je suis allé en France, on est allé au Canada, nous sommes allés à Lyon, etc., etc. Loads and loads and loads of stuff. 22 whole pages of things that you can use. I'll ever come out of that and go back in. We've got catastrophic holiday, which was the stuff that I've only just started with you last week, where you had the text here. which is also in the main PowerPoint, but it's also here. So we've got catastrophic holiday, and then we've got the phrases which I handed out to you right at the very end of the lesson, last lesson, so that you could go through those things. You know, that again, things that you can use in your preparation work. If I come back out here, we go into our dream holidays. Right, so if we go back in here, then we'll see that we've got this gap fill that's available to us here, which is something which you've already done in class, where we filled in the gaps here, and that pretty much is it from there. We've also got this text, which was the Vacances de rêve text, which is an example text of what you might be able to do with your ideal holidays. This is something which I wrote, so these are just suggested gaps. I've come back out of that. We've also got extending yourself, and these are things that we've looked at before. Lots of different texts again, lots of things that can help you. We've got adjectives, which I've thrown in there, which are, you know, different adjectives that you can use, a whole list of these things. Rather than just using the same things all of the time, why not look at some adjectives? Make sure that when you're looking through your work, have you changed adjectives, or have you just got the same adjectives as you always would use? The only other thing that is worthwhile looking at, well, it's all worthwhile looking at, of course, but the other thing, just to remind you that is in there, is this folder here, the one that's called preparation questions. If I go into this preparation questions one, we've also got some general things that are in there as well. So if I go into the general page, this is where I put in lots of things that I felt might help you. Some of those things are duplicated, so the booklet is in there, the directed writing booklet from Queen Victoria's School is in there, but it's also got some other things that you might use to help you structure your work. Things like this future holidays scan, which I threw in there from a time before, that you might want to use, but where I'd annotated around the sheet to look at different things that people could say. We've got speaking mats in here. These are things where if you make it a little bit bigger, can we do that there? So if we make it a little bit bigger, it's got lots of examples of things that you might use in your work. Come back out of there, and I think that's probably about it for now. So I'll leave it there. That's 7 minutes or so of listening to me explaining a couple of things that might help you with your work. But please do look back over things that you've already done. Do look back over things, resources that I've put painstakingly into these folders, because they're there to help you. Don't ever sit there and think to yourself, right, let's all start from scratch again. And certainly don't start thinking about going into Google Translate, because you just don't need to. It's all there for you. Okay?